Dan, I talked to more than a few Democrats yesterday who had heard of Charlie Kirk. They know who he is. They knew some of what he did. But two things struck me in every one of the conversations. They don't appreciate how significant he was as a force for the movement, but they don't appreciate the bond that people in MAGA have towards him, not just the president, the vice president, whose bonds are quite substantial, but kids all over the country. Some who've met him, some who hadn't, some who are MAGA and some who are not. They do not understand how this young man was able to reach so many people in an emotional way. They're acting like some Republican operative got killed. And we don't know who did it, so how upset can we be? They do not understand. And that's part of what I think they have to understand because they don't have you don't have it. You don't have anybody like Charlie Kirk. Not that you don't have leaders and operatives who are skillful, but the bond he had with so many people is, I think, something the left, they need to acknowledge it more. And I read everything and watched so much overnight. I do not see liberals in the media understanding this bond and how important that is. Dan.
Well, there's
And
two
just to be
things.
clear, sorry, I'm not being critical because they don't know.
Well,
What I'm asking
definitely
them,
sounds like you're being
I'm not being
critical.
critical. I want them to, well,
I'll
my
just
point is
say,
I want them to understand because if they understand, they'll be more respectful about
but
what people
Mark,
on the
I
right are
think
going through.
though that where you're missing the mark is I get who Charlie Kirk is, and I have tremendous respect for him, had tremendous respect for him. All four of our kids, I said this yesterday, texted after school saying, "Did you hear about Charlie Kirk? Is he going to be all right?" They're totally apolitical. I don't think people on the right know who most left operatives are, generally speaking, right? That doesn't mean Charlie Kirk is not a huge influential figure that people are going to in the coming days learn what significance he had to the movement, to the president, to MAGA. And I think I don't begrudge the party and the real lives of real people not knowing who Charlie Kirk is. So in terms of the immediate reaction,
I'm not, Dan, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm not begrudging it. What I'm saying is you're about to see unleashed an extraordinary amount of anger.
I
Okay.
hear you, Mark.
And part of it is the callousness with which people on the left, it's callous because of its ignorance.
That was a delicious video experience. I think you'll agree. Now, what you need to do in return for getting to enjoy that is hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss a thing.